are watching The Horizon, the voice of the Amber Woman, exclusively on ABC Amber TV.
Mutumbu, mama yo, na ya boy go get her. Blue Jay Brothers. Mama you kind, mama you're beautiful, mama you good, mama you're wonderful. No woman like you, mama. No woman like you, mama. Thank God for you, mama. Thank God for you, mama. 'Cause you gave me life, oh mama, queen of my life, oh mama. I go love you for life, oh mama. 'Cause you love me so, oh mama. From small begin, I never forget all the suffer when you suffer for me. Oh yeah, yeah. All the pain and the troubles where I put you through. I remember when money no be there and chop no be there for her. You be the try your best. You go run around to find us something where we go chop. When I dey sleep, you know the sleep. You go the cry all night. You go hold me tight, start to pray, say God make you have my oh Lord. Ooh, I will yeah choma. I'm funga na better yeah funga choma. I'm bumming na better yeah bumma choma. Enga na chinum yeah ga choma. Mama, I will yeah choma. I'm funga na better yeah funga choma. I'm bumming na better yeah bumma choma. Enga na chinum yeah ga choma. Enga choma mama. Enga na chinum yeah ga choma. Chinum yeah ga choma. Oh, you gave me life, oh mama, queen of my life, oh mama. I will love you for life, oh mama. 'Cause you love me so, oh mama. Ale mama, selelelele. Ale mama, selelelele. Ale mama, shekelelelele. Ale mama, you're my motivation. You gave me the best education, mama. The song where I sing I'm for you, now it's special dedication to you. Oh yeah, I know say every night and day you pray say make a mama. The God where you the pray I'm for heaven done. Give me this inspiration, mama. The song where I sing I'm for you, now to show my appreciation to you. Be a warrior, chama. I funga na better, yeah, funga chama. I'm bombing na better, yeah, bomber chama. Engana, chinum, yaga chama. Mama, warrior, chama. I funga na better, yeah, funga chama. I'm bombing na better, yeah, bomber chama. Engana, chinum, yaga chama. Chinum, yaga chama. Chinum, yaga chama. Yaga chama. You gave me life, mama, queen of my life, mama. I will love you for life. I will love you, mama, 'cause you love me so, mama. You gave me life, mama, queen of my life, mama. I will love you for life, mama. 'Cause you love me so, oh mama, mama, selelelele, ale mama, selelelele, ale mama, selelelele, ale mama, shekelelele, ale mama, selelelele, ale mama, selelelele, ale mama, selelelele, ale mama, selelelele, ale mama. Oh, that's so. That's so. Mother's Day. That's so.
Hello, hello, good evening, dear Amazonians, particularly those at home front. Good afternoon if you are watching from the US, and good morning if you are in the South, Australia and Asia, some parts of Asia. Thank you for joining us on the horizon today. We are going to be recapping on the 1st of October celebrations and activities. And also, we would like all of you, all Amazonians across the world, to call in and share your inspiration, share what inspire you about the 1st of October activities and events. Share your own experience, during the 1st of October celebration, celebrating our identity, celebrating our uniqueness, celebrating us as a people, celebrating and commemorating how far we have come in our liberation struggle. This 1st of October was different on so many levels, and so many different things happen across the world in different places. In the refugee camps, at home front, in the US, in the Brazil, so in the north and south of America, in Europe, and we did different things to remind ourselves that we are Ambazonians and we are in this for the until total liberation of our territory. And we did so many different activities, create awareness, protest, fundraising, um, petitions, anything, and also celebration, celebrating our heroes. And it was amazing, amazing, amazing 1st of October activities and events that took place across the world, almost in all the continents of the world. And today, to join me to talk about this, talk about 1st of October and how far we have come and how the event went. And also, I'll really encourage all of you that will be joining, watching today, share as you join, invite people. Today is an interactive program. We want everybody who participated in the 1st of October celebration, one way or the other, those who experienced it, those who were involved in planning one thing or the other. I want everyone to call in today. I want you to share what inspires you, what is 1st of October, how it went, what has it done to you in terms of your revolutionary spirit. How has it inspired you? How has it motivated you? What new thing did you learn from the 1st of October? Did you increase your conviction? Are you more, you believe that Amazonia is real? Or what, if it created more doubt, if you have questions about the struggle, it is time to call in and ask. And like I was saying, joining me today is Pastor Commando, who championed the activities in South America, Brazil to be specific. And also is the chief of staff, uh, Dr. Yaya, who was in Berlin. I call her the engine of Berlin. She won't agree with me, but that is how pushing everything behind the scenes. I'm glad to have both of you here today on the horizon, the voice of the Amazonian woman, and we are magnifying the liberation sounds and voices, and the role of a woman is so important. And today on the horizons is 1st of October, and what it means and how was the experience. Pastor Commando, I would come to you first. Thank you.
Thank you very much, moderator Lady Casey. I'm glad to be, after a very long time, on the platform again with you, and to talk about the what happened on the 1st of October for and the 30th of September. It was a wonderful experience and time. I think after the usurping of our sovereignty, first of all by Britain, handing over the Union Jack to La République on the 30th of September, and our independence on the 1st of October, we have never had a time like what we had this last month end of September and the 1st of October. It was just wonderful. And that's the description I can give because I don't have vocabularies to go ahead and describe it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that nice capturing of that weekend. Dr. Aya, I wanted to come to you after because your outfit, in fact, is speaking in other language in Amazonia. You know
Amba, yeah.
the fascinator, the dress. Like I needed
Oh,
to come to you
yes.
because
You still
the
got my
order.
blue
You have to
nails.
start
I still got
and
blue
then
white
your
nails.
Amadeus, like you're screaming Amazonia from every angle, and I'm just so
Inside
amazed.
out,
It's
all over.
amazing. Yes,
I'm so
Amber
excited.
Oye.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
so wonderful, and at least you tried to match me today. We didn't plan; it happened. But that is the spirit of Amazonia. You did so much for the 1st of October. Just in the introduction, how was it for you?
Is that for me?
Yes.
Oh, Lady Casey, you know my excitement from the moment I saw you at the Berlin train station, that epic move of yours, that created this picture that is ever going to be resounding in my mind. Oh my God, I've been excited since then. In fact, I really lack words to explain what we experienced in Berlin. Some people may say, oh, but we didn't really see so many people. It wasn't as full as we expected. But that's not really what mattered. I mean, what mattered is what we felt, what we experienced. You know it. I can't let go of the pictures. I just can't let go of the time, the connectedness, the resolve, the commitment. It was like a affirmation of our promise to motherland that we shall not leave this job uncompleted. It was just amazing how everybody wanted to see this work and how we all felt like a family. Look at those pictures. I mean, it's a moment that will never repeat itself. For those who miss this occasion, please, you can still hide behind the October month and still ask for your rappers. Look at all these gorgeous pictures. I mean, words can't really describe them. My dear, I'm off topic. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I'm just so excited because the spirit that was revived in Berlin, again, it wasn't about numbers. The spirit that was revived in Berlin and our recommitment to the struggle is beyond words. And I know that we have started a refreshed walk, after the one or two distractions or hits. But we have picked up and certainly we are bouncing even higher and going for the goal. And that's Boya. No stopping, no shaking.
Wow, thank you. I mean, there's nothing like off topic about 1st of October because it was
Oh,
packed.
can't stop.
It was loaded. The experiences, the pictures, the outfits, the excitement, the identity, the proud Amazonians showing off in all forms, shape, and
Oh my God.
every how styles, different programs, different activities, just identifying as Amazonians, celebrating who we are. I mean, you cannot go off topic with that. So long as it's for Amazonia as an Amazonian, it
Okay.
was just simply amazing,
I think I
amazing,
remember your
amazing.
question. Can I then try to answer your question? I think it was about
Yes.
how we did this. Or sincerely, no individual can take credit for this happening. No matter how committed you are, how one person cannot organize an event, and you yourself alone you can't attend that event. So everybody had their part to play. I mean, this was an excellent display of teamwork. Of course, the end result is our victory for all of us. Yes, it wasn't easy given that we really started planning somewhat late. We should admit that. But with that given I think we tried to pull through. We saw the resolve in Amazonians all across the globe who put in their hands deep in their pockets, to help to fund this occasion to make sure that it takes place. So it was teamwork. Even those who were not there, we thank you for your financial contributions. all your spiritual contributions, all your moral contributions. Those who attended meetings gave us ideas. Those who picked up, the phone to make calls. Those who wrote letters to invite people. Oh my God, it was a display of teamwork, and this is what Ambazonia should be about. We should have the culture of us moving together instead of the I syndrome of one person trying to stand out and above everybody. But we should try to pull everybody along. But having said that, we must still give credit to whom credit is deserved. I cannot go without thanking, especially Comrade Joe Bashi. I haven't seen a leader like this. You know, we a lot of times in the struggle we hear this word leaders, leaders, leaders. People need to really sit and ask themselves, who is a true leader? What is a leader? Or who is a true leader? It is not, sitting on a position. It is not being called chief of staff that makes me a leader. No, it is not the title. It is actually the qualities you bring into that job you've been called to do. And a true leader is, first of all, a servant. And Comrade Joe, as Lady Casey, you admit, he was truly a servant. So many times he will remind us to do this, do that, and whenever these jobs are not done, he picks it up and he does them. And he is someone who listens to advice. Oh my God. I mean, such humility I haven't witnessed. And humility is not a weakness, it is actually a virtue, it is grace. A leader who leaves himself, who allows to be led, is a true leader. Because if you cannot even humble yourself to listen and follow and get some tips from others, you would maybe be over assuming that you know everything, and probably you cannot know everything. So,
Yeah.
Comrade Joe, I don't want to oversing your praises. I know how I have been, we've been having our fights on the background. I'll bash him one or two times, but he has
Yeah.
such a calming spirit.
Yes, and we will
No,
get
no, listen,
into.
I was okay. I'll finish on that. I think it's important to say some of these things because we've run this struggle. Whilst we are moving ahead, there's also personal development that we need to be doing. We need to be
Mm.
preparing ourselves for a ready country so that we don't go to Boya and we start to teach ourselves how to deal with each other or with leadership. Humility and service should be the cornerstone of a good leader. And Comrade Joe, you were. And to my team, including all of you, yes, we pulled it together. We were a great team. Thank you.
No, I mean, considering that I participated in the Berlin team, at least I did not do anything. That see, I was just part of it. I just want to say that the team was an exceptional team of servants, of Amazonian, like it was exemplary. Everything, everybody, the men, the women, everyone who participated was just easy. When you say easy going, sometimes the job is not even if the job is difficult, but the people you do the job with, the team you work with, can make a very difficult and complex task so easy. And I particularly do a special shout out video for everyone who participated in Berlin to make their event a success. Pastor Commando, you are commando number one. Had that ranking number one commando because you pull. I'm still see. I am still. This is not an.
A
I
one
am
man
still
show.
in awe
Wow.
of your accomplishment in Brazil. You have given us Amazonia a friend in Brazil. You have given Amazonia a safe space with your consistent, persistent, resilient, hard work. And you created a community where an Amazonian can feel free in Brazil, and I'm certainly planning to visit.
Oh,
Um,
Amen.
yes.
Pastor
I'll be there.
Commando, tell us just how. I mean, I'm sure Amazonian want to know how you we are talking about team in Berlin. We know ourselves in Berlin. We can meet here and there in our country, our organization, but you pull it alone in Brazil. How did you do it?
Yeah, thank you very much. This could not be done without all of you. I want to say that, knowingly or unknowingly, Berlin inculcated South America into Berlin. Because before I was called into what was going on in Berlin, they were already talking about Brazil that I was not even aware of. And that is the spirit of Ambazonia. I want to say that you fellows in that place, you made Ambazonia to be proud of what happened in South America, especially in Brazil. In Brazil, like the vice president commented, vice president said that once you are in the house, you are with people, you have everybody. And that statement, hit me like a thunderbolt and gave me courage that I am in the house. Which house? In the interim government. And because I belong to the interim government, I knew that a one-man army could be possible in events like the 30th and the 1st of October. And with that encouragement and that faith, God really helped us to carry out what we carried out. And I want to tell us that it was meant to be only in one location. But some situations arose that made us to hold the program in 3 different locations. On the 1st, we had it in 2 locations. On the 30th, we had it in 1 location. And formerly, we were globally thinking of having it all in one place and then send out the signals. I want to also say that there are tens of Amazonians in Brazil, but 99% of them hid their faces and then stayed on the fence. And some did not even want to make a comment, even it was behind the bars. But then, behind the scenes, not behind the bars. We don't want anybody to go in behind the bars. So the confidence and the trust that Ambazonians showed made the Brazilians here to step out and shouted on top of their voices that Ambazonia has the right to be free and do things the way that they definitely want to do. Recounting their history, the history of Ambazonia, from what they have not only heard from us, they have read. And I want to thank those Ambazonians who are putting in the real story of our existence into the social media, because it goes a long way to educate these people. Although La Republic tried to intimidate some of them and then gave names like we are terrorists and blah, 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 but some of them who had read and who are reading, they came out very boldly to say, no, 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 these people are not. Because 2 countries are the only 2 countries that can have 2 independent dates. They have read and they have heard from us that 1st of January 1960 was the independence of La République du Cameroon, and then 1st of October 1961 was the independence of Ambazonia, that is Southern Cameroon. And we came together after that, our Independence Day, to form a union, or what we call the Federal Republic of Cameroon, which included the French Cameroon, as it was called at that time, and the English Cameroon. But suddenly, French Cameroon disappeared to their name of Republic of Cameroon, and there is this question, where is Southern Cameroon? It means that the assimilation and annexation that they had planned to annex the Southern Cameroon, according to them, has taken place. So when we rose up to say no, we cannot say we have come into a union, even though there is no union treaty with the United Nations. And then some people get up and try to claim that we are one and indivisible. No, we are two divisible countries, Southern Cameroons and French Cameroon. And so our independence on the 1st of October 2023, 62, I think the 62nd anniversary was celebrated in pomp and pageantry by those who actually understood what is presently going on and the war, the genocide that is going on, because we have not actually called it a war, it's a genocide because we are only on our side defending ourselves. We made it very
Mm-hmm.
clear that we have not gone into war, because if it was war, we would have been firing missiles like Palestine is firing missiles to Israel, and as Ukraine is firing to Russia, and vice versa. But we are there in our little homes just defending ourselves. So something is definitely right with us and wrong with La Republique. And so the independence here and the declared 30th of September, which our president said was the United Nations Southern Cameroon's Day, started having roots also. So this is just a little bit of what has started happening. And in the days ahead, more people are putting in their ears, are opening their eyes, wanting to know more. And we are praying that Brazil, that is understanding, will get up and defend us and shout it out when and wherever it is needed in the international community. So we are still at work, and we employ all the Ambazonians at home and abroad to make sure that they continue to send in their moral and, of course, financial support of some of the moves that we have to make, which I cannot disclose here. But there is something
Thank
in the
you.
pipeline. God
Thank
bless.
you. Thank you. Well, you have literally summarized the reason why we need to shout about Amazonia any chance we get. And 1st of October did not fail on that. And we shouted it at a rooftop of every angle and every country and every quarter that Amazonians are across the world. You also mentioned something that there are many Amazonians who are sitting on the fence in Brazil. You also mentioned some are keeping quiet even behind the scenes. Um, and that is a situation across the world. Many Amazonians across the world still think or that this is about just some few people. It's not every Amazonian. But I have always said the consequences of this liberation movement, we hit every Southern Cameroonian. So anybody from a Southern Cameroon origin, whether you identify as Ambazonian or not, and anybody who have been born in our territory knows that all the Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians have been treated, have experienced the disdain that have been brought to us by our neighbors, the Republic of Cameroon. So it doesn't matter what side you choose to be on, whether you choose to be on the fence, you choose to be with La Republique, you will never fit in, you will never be accepted, and the consequences, the effects of being Ambazonian and claiming to be part of the enemy, La Republique du Cameroon, will hit. If it has not met you yet, I can guarantee you with my full chest it is coming. So anyway, just to on that note, Dr. Yaya, you started by appreciating the team and the leadership we had in pulling off such a great event in Europe. And you all mentioned some of the uh individuals involved, and even including some of the challenges that were faced. But now I'm looking at this whole event from the planning to the execution, and the day how it went. Now, what do you think? You did mention slightly that it feels good, it feels better, but on an Amazonian perspective, how far do you think the celebrations of 1st of October, specifically in Berlin, will go to impact the struggle?
Oh, yeah. How will this Berlin celebration of our Independence Day go to impact the struggle in a very, very positive way? Definitely. Let's not forget that the enemy is doing everything, working day and night to tell the world or to fool our people that there's return to normalcy. And they say that by, deceiving some of our liberation fighters, Amazonian Restoration Forces, to go to their whatever camps they call DDR and all of that. And they use all these funny groupings on Jangi groups with the intention to promote one Cameroon agenda in the diaspora to confirm their, their propaganda. So for us to come out, we have seen all kinds of meetings, call it Canada, number 1, 2, 3, or which is like the Grand National Dialogue in Cameroon extended form, in the diaspora. All of this is intended to pass on one message. It is a message of fraud and corruption, a total bundle of lies, trying to fool the international community and our vulnerable people who have refused to know the truth, because the truth is right out there. We have pictures, we have history. It is all written on the internet. Those who want to know will know. Those who choose not to know have chosen to stay ignorant or are hypocrites. So La Republique has its propaganda tool, and they have the money to invest in such nonsense, to be telling the world the wrong stories. They pick a handful of ex-students who go and meet and have fun in Canada, and they call themselves representing Amazonia. People we have never seen anywhere drafting, who we've never seen anywhere supporting our restoration forces to free our homeland. So who are they representing? Who gave them the mandate? So this 1st October, Lady Casey, I'll come back to the appreciation of the team. Um, Appreciating the team leader didn't mean the others are not as special. So you said something that you didn't do much. That is very wrong. You did a lot. You coming out in our Amazonian national uniform was momentous. And since then, you can see that the momentum actually picked up and it became real. That this October 1 is going to be different. It's going to be special. And believe me, it was. It was truly special. So it has what we have done is really historical. And we will never repeat this. I say this. We can only come to add to what we've done. Because of the lies that the Republic has been perpetually trying to paint to the world and to our people back home, that everything has returned to normal. See, we are meeting here and there in Canada to talk about one Cameroon or whatever, and they are fooling our soldiers, our restoration forces, to drop their self defense. This outing is another referendum in action. It's like
Mm,
2017, I guess,
mhm.
if this is the picture, where everyone came out to say, with grandmothers, with kids, even dogs. I saw dogs protesting. So telling the world that we are an independent people, we do not want this fake union with La Republique. I say, marry na by force. If you don't work, you don't work. Leave me carry my bags, go. So we coming out, Lady Casey, in our uniform, Pastor Commando, in Brazil, in California, in DC. The effect of that, we are coming in the same outfit, telling the world that we are a people with an identity, with a heritage. Oh my God, that is stamping our feet again on the board, on the drawing board, to tell them that there's no normalcy. There's normalcy in La Republique. That is their country. They can do whatever they want to do. Ambazonia is free. To our brothers and sisters who claim that, oh, they are afraid, who claim that they're on the fence, I am so sorry to tell you, you do not know yourself. You lack self esteem.
Eesh.
You need to know who
Mhm.
you are. You're faking to be somebody you're not. You will never be accepted. You are a dog, whether you like it or not. That's how the Republic sees all of us, whether you're in the struggle or you're not in the struggle. To the person who pretends to say, no, this una thing, you choose not to understand the history. Yes, we were not taught the history, but please, it's out on the internet. Go and read. I have a 80-year-old calling me and telling me the story. It is all there on the internet. People shouldn't pretend. So we are telling the world that all those lies from La Republique do not make sense. We as a people, we have come out in this uniform in our amber colors on October 1 to tell them that the decision that the United Nations agreed to decolonize Southern Cameroons on a completely different day from La Republique should stay. It shouldn't be conditional as they made it by joining whether La Republique du Cameroon or Nigeria. We are a people, we had self governed, we had changed governments, three in line without any disruption, without any wars. So, what else do they need for Southern Cameroons to prove that we are a self governing people, that we are able and capable? It is not the size, because we are bigger than most other countries, many other countries in the world. So we are telling them we are back. There's no normalcy in Amazonia. Our land, our country is free and free indeed. And to you who is standing on the fence, don't fool yourself. There's going to be time for reckoning. You better join the struggle now in any way you can, whether it is helping on the humanitarian front, helping the prisoners, helping kids who have been displaced. You make sure you put your name somewhere, because we are not stupid. Don't look at all of us here and think we don't know what to do with our lives. We know what to do with our lives. But we know that our lives is much more than just having fun, driving good cars, living in big houses. And that's not all. So most of you who claim to live all these lavish lives out here, I'm so sorry. Your maybe your mother's house or your father's house has a hole with a leaking, I don't know what. And we come here, we claim that we are I don't know, we have become more white than the white people. You see, people. I'm not saying we shouldn't enjoy ourselves, please. The kind of lavish lives that we see sometimes on Facebook and all this fake book, my sister calls it, it's so insensitive. I say, look, can you have it just normal? Can you just have it real and just put $50 of all your millions that you are projecting, on Facebook, whether it's credit or not? Can you just put $50? It is so painful to see that people have become so insensitive. And these are the same people you see them in churches when priests or pastors are coming carrying the highest placards. Oh, this, and carrying the basket. Oh, please. I can go non-stop on this. Hey, Lady Casey, what we
Thank
did in
you.
Berlin,
Thank you.
I can stop.
See,
It's momentous.
see, you
Yeah,
you have really touched. There's this part that you say that there is so much. I always say, there is a lot to do in this struggle. There is avenue, the word I always use, there is always avenue for participation. There is no
yeah,
excuse. Absolutely none. It's either you are extremely wicked, totally ignorant. What else could be the reason? Or yeah, wicked would encapsulate being selfish, callous, in
yeah.
all of that. That's the only reason that will make a normal Southern Cameroonian, a human being, would ignore the plight of their own people. You cannot exempt yourself. I have said it and I'll say it again. So long as you are from Southern Cameroonian and you're not part of the struggle, one, like Dr. Yaya said, you don't know yourself. You lack self-identification. And when you don't know yourself, you don't have identity, you are certainly lost. And when you're lost, it goes down to a lot of things. Lack of self-confidence, because you cannot be wholly and fully who you are. So um every Amazonian, every Southern Cameroonian across the world, the struggle, as you can see, 1st of October, the message was loud. There is no turning back until total freedom and liberation. People came out, they were not afraid of gunshots. They were not afraid in the if people at home front are this resilient, what's the excuse anyone in the diaspora has? Absolutely none. So if you're not participating one way or the other, finding excuse of this leader or that leader not to express your wickedness and callousness, it is you that you will feel the heat when the consequences of this fight will hit everybody's door. If you have not gotten to anyone yet, it is coming, because it is not stopping until our freedom. So it is time everybody, every Southern Cameroonian start living with that consciousness that we are at war. We are defending ourselves. We are in the state of self-defense. There is no other mindset, there is no other thing you want to live by, no other set of principles or guidelines you want to live by, particularly our home front and those of you in the diaspora, that you want to live by as a Southern Cameroonians at this current point in time. We are at the point of self-defense, and you must live with that consciousness so that you will take the required precautions, the required action for your own survival and for our collective survival as a people. This is what everybody, it's not a suggestion, it is a must. Otherwise, the result, you will hear it on your own body. I won't be involved because me, I'm fully in onto our total. And look at the great celebration, the pictures. I was almost coming to this, and Technician just keep flashing these pictures because it is. I mean, I was saying in pidgin, it a ginger my swagger. When I
Sorry.
look at this picture, Dr. Yeah, you mentioned earlier, that is the pictures were just, you can't get over all of them, and it's the same feeling I have. Me, I am going to be celebrating 1st of October until December. And
Oh
because
my
I'll be
gosh.
sharing the picture, every pictures every day. So it's
Yes.
uh, yes. My own 1st of October celebration, it started on the 30th of September, and for me, it will be finishing in December. Because there will be a picture I
Funny.
want to share. Look at that. There will be a picture I want to share every single, at least 3 times a week, to remind me of the spirit, because it revived my revolutionary spirit. It revived my self-determination spirit. And I have never been so determined that Ambazonia must be free. The joy, the spirit, the happiness of the people, the pictures, the support, the glow. We painted Berlin blue and white. And Berlin
Yes.
was painted blue and white. Brazil was painted blue and white.
Yes.
California was painted blue and white. DC was painted blue and white. So this is the spirit we must carry on. And with our Ambazonia rapper, our ABC rapper, our independence, it was very massive independence in front. It was everywhere. I mean, the 1st of October. I mean, anyone who came up with the idea of this rapper, I, we just need to thank them once again, because they made us, we were not struggling to stand out. We just stood out effortlessly, as we celebrated our identity, as we celebrated us as a people. It is just amazing. And it saw the spirit of the restoration fighters. It is the one thing that I want to say. When anyone see, we are drafting Zian this Saturday. Pastor Commando was just taking it a bit level. We are drafting Dan tomorrow. It's tomorrow. This Saturday, I'm saying as if it's far.
Tomorrow,
It's
yeah.
It's
tomorrow. We are
tomorrow.
drafting. Dian draft is being managed by the federal government, and we are taking this energy from 1st of October into Dian draft. And it's so important that every Amazonian come and show a sense of patriotism by drafting for Dian, because Dian is our breadbasket. It is so rich in so many different things. And this is a moment for every Amazonian to come in. But before we get into the Dian draft, Pastor Commando, I would just want to come to you again. You saw how the pictures were flashing, and the 1st of October. Now, what but this is personal to you, and that you want to share to Amazonians. What did you learn or about this 1st of October concerning our liberation fight?
Yeah, thank you very much. Every day that passes in this particular fight that is ahead of us, I call it is a duty for all conscious Amazonians. There is a lesson to learn, and the 1st October actually brought this learning to practicals in the sense that the Amazonians rose up and stood as one person, and the October celebration went on in such a scenery that every reasoning and thinking patriotic Amazonia will dub his finger up to say that we did it. And that's why it is not a one man's show. Uh, the Ethics Commission of Amazonia always teaches us to know that we are building strong institutions and not strong men, because strong men have ended up very, very selfishly. But strong institutions make it in such a way that nobody should boast and nobody should say, I did it. And that's why 1st October, even though in some places there were very few people, but the spirit that backed up those few people was really telling. And so we are saying that our stance to defend our territorial integrity is a thing of unity. And I want to go back to the proverbial sayings of the scriptures, the Bible, which is one of the natural laws that each country enshrines in their constitution, which is morality. Now, morality will definitely include the honesty, the resilience, the sincerity when the truth is put out there. Yeah, we know that we are living in a world where, especially in these last days, where the good is even spoken of and wickedness is applauded. Our president always says that the international community, in most of their organizations, they have become a club of friends, that if you don't join them in the friendship, not in the truth, but in the friendship, even if the truth is so visible like this, they will try
Mhm.
to blind an eye and pretend not to see and pretend not to hear. But the 1st October has made it very clear that the Ambazonians who are really patriotic, they and want to actually get to Ambazonia, they can do it, and they did it. Right across the home front and in the diaspora, we saw the few of the dedicated patriotic Ambazonians came up like one man, and the story is still going viral, which is to say that when there is and where the truth is, there is no lie that can defeat, because the
Mhm.
truth does not have a beginning and does not have an ending. But anything that is falsehood has a beginning and can shine and gather a lot of people around. But towards the end of it, you discover that it has an end. So the 1st of October has proven to the people of Amazonia that we are standing on the truth, and this truth has no ending because it is the truth. Now, some of the people that claim that they are leaders in Amazonia, and we are all expecting that since they are calling Amazonia and claiming that they are leaders, They will come up with something to tell the people of Amazonia on the 1st of October. But you see, because they are building on falsehood, Amazonia was not restored as a group. It was restored as a government. And so only the government had to speak. And 1st October told us who the government is. And that's why the interim government, our president, Dr. Samuel Sako, came up with a speech that is unbeatable. And some of the so-called leaders, which I would not want to mention their names in this very important program by promoting them, one of them said he was traveling, he was flying. That's why he could not make a speech on the 1st of October. Another one came up and said that, well, there were so many things going on, so he had to make a speech on the 2nd of October, which up till today, we've not gotten the speech. And others just went silent. You see, when something is very natural and truthful, at the close of the time, the naturality of that thing proves itself. So that's why I tell Ambazonians of goodwill and patriotic, don't fight. Don't go quarreling with them. Just focus on the truth. Just stay on what you have believed and what was established by the now international community that are almost, their term is almost over, because when your term is expired, you begin to grapple here and grapple here and grapple here. Now, I overheard in some of the programs on ABC that United Nations is like it's losing its purpose, like the League of Nations faded out. And so the General Assembly of the United Nations also had some people who told them the truth, that you are losing because you are causing more chaos than abating it. And so we, the Ambazonians, we have stood to say that 1st of October and the newly appellation of the 30th of September, United Nations Southern Cameroon's Day, has come to stay. By next year, 2024, and I believe that we shall be celebrating in our hometown, in our homeland. But if it happens that the delay still continues and we are out there, it is going to be fantacocastic. That's my own. Oh, I stop there. I see my
Thank you.
COS just shaking her head. Wow.
Hey, Dr. Aya. Hey, I know you have so much to share about 1st of October. Why we encourage our viewers to call in and participate and just share, what you experienced in 1st of October, what the 1st of October inspire you. Is there anything you want to share? Your experiences, your inspiration, your view, what you saw, what you didn't see, what you expected to see that you didn't see. Just anything about the 1st of October in your own end as an Amazonian or as a sympathizer of Amazonia who may be watching us. Did you notice anything about our Independence Day celebrations? So there is just so much to so many dimensions to look at. So we'll be taking all your calls. Just call in and share your own view and share how it went for you. Look at Donald's gorgeous pictures, and our winners for this Amazonia outfit. We are yet to do the pool for that. But it was an excellent celebration. Dr. Yaya, over to you to continue to share your views and experiences that you had on 1st of October. You mentioned that
Oh
the
yeah,
spirit, the feeling was so good. Can you expatiate more on that?
it was. I was listening to my SOS. Please, no offense. I personalize Pastor Commando. I call it my SOS. I was listening to him trying to describe it and running out of words and using cocastic or whatever. I just think it was, the energy was beyond description. There was something mesmerizing about it. Lady Case, you remember when we were marching through? In fact, and I must say, when something good is happening, the counter force, because we live in a world of dualism. You have good, you have evil. The counter forces that were against this Berlin event being a success were equally great. Were equally great. We cannot minimize that from externally and from within. And it even went to the point, remember when we had to march from the Brandenburg gate to the Berlin main train station. And the police was trying to convince us, oh, just stay here. I think you have enough audience here. But just because they wanted to be comfortable, they didn't want to walk along. I saw the feistiness in the Amazonians. I saw how everybody, most people just stand and say, no, let's march, let's go. And that energy is something that we haven't seen for a long time because of COVID, because of all the coup plotters, and you name it. So that resilience, like you said, there was a rebirth of that revolutionary spirit. And my goodness, God knows I lost at least 250 grams that day. Lady Casey, remember, Lady Casey will run to the front with the camera to take pictures, and I'll be panting. I'm like, I need to be in the pictures. Take me, please. We swap places. I have never run. I didn't know I could run for like 10 minutes nonstop. Hey, hooray. So Amazonia brought that back. So, and we saw it on home front. My goodness, look at those pictures from the ARFs, from the Bui warriors, from the Gonketunjia warriors across Amazonia, our mothers, the civilian population coming out without fear, coming out in La Republique, in that country, and displaying their, their, what do I say, their love for country. And some silly person will stay in diaspora and say, I'm afraid of my face. Who knows your face? Paul Biya doesn't know you. Stop pretending. Who knows
Thank
you, for
you.
heaven's sake? I don't understand this nonsense. Children came out and they're acting the war. Mothers came out, they're acting on that soil. They don't have fear. And you stand in diaspora and talk nonsense. It's a shame. But anyway, you will stay behind because the few of us, the remnants, as the president calls us, we shall fight, we shall finish this war, whether you are there or not. But remember, I hope that when we get home, there will be a list, in at that airport to say, you, what did you do? You, what did you do? And please, family members, do not think that because you have a family member who is active in the struggle and you are comfortable there making your barbecue every weekend. Oh, we will have to be fair because Amazonia is a free and fair country. We are not La Republic. No
Yeah, yes.
corruptions. There's something, sorry, I wanted to say. Just I don't know where to start to thank my SOS Pastor Commando for pulling that kind of a crowd alone. It tells you that really, even when you have internal resistance or internal negativity that may try to slow you down, never give up.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Look at what a one person could do. Look at the crowd in Brazil. It's not even up to the crowd that we in Europe pull. In a sense, I can say what a shame to those of us in Europe. Those who I'm talking to, they know who I'm talking to them. If you were in Berlin, you chose not to attend the ceremony. You chose not to remember. I said chose. But if you were sick or there's something or work you couldn't make it, that's different. If you were in Berlin and chose not to come, you were in Europe and chose not to come for whatever pettiness, shame on you. Shame on you. Sincerely. Because
Yeah,
look at
and
these
Dr.
people.
Yaya, you
They are
yes.
putting their faces. Look at the Amazonian Restoration Forces coming out and dancing. La Republique could just drop a bomb on that population and that would be it. But they never stopped. They were mothers. They were girls. They were boys. They were children. They carried their guns. Come on. And you call yourself a leader? Sit up. Sit up. Yeah.
Thank you. And that is something Pastor Commando didn't mention that they planned for one venue or one place, and it eventually happened, meaning they faced some challenges, and we also faced some challenges. That's why I always say that I'm not a type to condone excuses. Like you said, that if someone I'm checking if I'm having any call. If someone is was in Berlin, was in Europe, and did not attend, and they call themselves a leader, there is no excuse for that because of things. And these are some conversations we are also going to have, Dr. Yaya. I hope you are available some other time where we will talk about ourselves, our perspective. Because Dr. Yaya, there is absolutely no way I'm upset with you will stop me or distract me from participating in Amazonian liberation course. Absolutely, there's nothing you can do. My presence, my involvement, my activities, every little I can do to contribute towards our liberation cause cannot be influenced even by the president, Dr. Samuel Insako
Exactly.
Ikome. He cannot. So because it was a conscious decision that I made the day I left my house in 2016, going to French embassy in London to protest. I knew this was going to be a long haul. Since that day, it has been the same. So there is no excuse where anybody an Ambazonian 1st of October celebration will be happening, and an Ambazonian will find an excuse not to participate because they dislike or don't like an individual, or they are upset with an individual. This is nation's call, is not friendship organization, is not family business. My parents can tell you they don't, they first of all, know everybody who knows this ambassador is not a matter we joke around me. And this is the sentiment, like when I was saying that we are living in the revolutionary times, we are living in a moment of self-defense, and the principles and the rules that apply in this lifestyle is totally different from everyday life. And that consciousness of surviving in this state of self-defense is what every Ambazonian, and if every Ambazonian have that consciousness that we are living in a moment where we are in a fight for ourselves, we are fighting to defend ourselves from being alienated by La Republique, for being absorbed into this Franco La Republique ridiculous system. If we don't come to that consciousness as a people and live every single day in with that understanding and apply the required wisdom as we move as a people in this situation, we would never, we would always find ourselves in little disagreement and little nonsense that distract and disturb our progress towards total liberation. So, Amazonian people, those who have a chance to watch us, the mindset of living in a state of fighting for liberation, fighting to defend yourself, it is paramount. And maybe I'll have some time to talk more about what I mean by the consciousness and the mindset required for a time like this. Um, Pastor Commando, I will soon be rounding up on the program, and I just want us to focus these last few minutes. And we've talked about the 1st of October and the great success, and ABC has been excellent in broadcasting and showcasing all the celebration, the outfits, the pictures, everything that happened across the world. We have spent, ABC have, dedicated great time in production, and our undaunted journalists have been exceptional in their edits and their analysis and reporting of this global celebration of our Independence Day. So a lot has been said and a lot has been shown and showcased and discussed on ABC about it. So now we'll just move to this remaining few minutes of the program to talk about the Indian draft. The Indian draft that is coming up tomorrow, 8 p.m. Is it 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.? No, 8 p.m. Amber time.
8 p.m.
9 p.m. Amber time.
Mhm.
It's 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
Yeah.
8 p.m.
Sorry, 8 p.m. Amber time tomorrow. So
Yes.
we'll just spend many few minutes talking. So Pastor Commander, I'll come over to you. Um what I want you to share your own perspective and why you believe every Ambazonian should participate in the Dian draft.
Yeah, thank you very much. If you see flies gathering around a particular place and another swarm following towards that same area, it means that there is something very juicy about that particular environment. We have seen that La Republic has done everything to fragment and even push the leadership of Ndian out of this interim government because they believe that Dian is a place that if the interim government forget and they are fighting for other places, well, they will go ahead with their exploitation of that place without any disturbance. Because the greatest nightmare of La Republique is this interim government. And President Sako, who is the pivot, or let me call him the pilot of this interim government at this moment, has an insight with the team that is surrounding him that we are not going to leave any of our counties, especially those that they have tried to disorganize and then take out their leadership and make it redundant, that the interim government, since they started the move on federal, how do you call it, federal draft, which is including all the counties. Now they decided that without federal draft, they were going to support every other county to make sure that we stand up to drive out La Republique until the last man in La Republique has gone out of our land. That is why it is very, very important and very, how do I put it? Okay, let me not use another adjective that my COS, I personalize her, my COS will, laugh at it again. But I want to say that drafting Dian tomorrow should be the focus of every patriotic Ambazonia because that is the breadbasket of Ambazonia that La Republic is trying to make us to give up. And they started doing that by not letting anything called development go into Indian. They don't have roads. So their major route is the sea, which they are catering away the resources of Ambazonia. But let us arise tomorrow, Ambazonians. I want to plead with all of you who are listening to me at this moment. Let us arise tomorrow and make sure we draft Dian and make sure that Dian sends out La Republique to the point that we will not rest until the last La Republican has left Dian and it is now fully in control by the people that own the land, the Ambazonians. So let's come in tomorrow at 8 p.m. and draft Dian. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Yaya, over to you. Tomorrow is Indian draft. We have been drafting, and I mean, it's important every Ambazonian draft in their LGA or county, but for Indian, this is a special and a different draft because it's being handled by the federal government. Um, to you, according to your own view and perspective, why should why is it important for Ambazonian to draft and particularly to join the Indian draft tomorrow?
Thank you, Lady Casey. It is very important for us to draft. I'm sure people they know this terminology by now. That is our own war tax, if we may call it. Um, our Amazonian Restoration Forces they sacrifice for the freedom, for our freedom, not only theirs, for our freedom with their lives. And we are only expected to give a minimum of $1,000. So compare that to a human life that you and I cannot create. So drafting is the normal activity, is the minimum. I keep saying minimum because just drafting and staying and saying I've drafted is not enough. You need to be involved because there is a lot of organization that needs to take place. A lot of care that needs to be given to our prisoners, internally displaced refugees, and wounded, and you name all the problems that come as a result of this senseless war. So, this is the minimum we can do to show home fronts that we commit to our own part of the partnership because we are a partnership. I listened to the president 2 days ago on the interview with the Nigerian journalist. I was so impressed with his answers. When I think the question he was asked was, we get these accusations that we sit in the diaspora and having a good life while we send people to go and die. And the president said, these people who are fighting, who are putting down their lives, I mean, I'm just paraphrasing, they are not doing that because anybody asked them to, not because we are telling them anything in their ears. They are ready to give up their lives because they have no reason. They have found no reason to live. The way he put it was so smartly written. I actually wrote that and shared it in the chat. This is to say that the reason you and I are in this struggle or should be in this struggle is not because the president's name is this, because of this. It is because of the injustice that you and I have lived. It's not history. I did
Absolutely.
not grow to hear what was done to my grandparents. I witnessed it. I was called names. I was called Anglophile in Yaoundé, and that's why I chose not to speak French. You know, so this is it. We have to be honest with ourselves. We have lived injustice, subjugation, oppression, you name it, for over 60 years. And it is time for us to finish this job. For those who pretend and they keep saying that, no, I can't join, I can't join because you people are divided. I ask them, how are you doing in your marriage? Hello. How are you doing in your family? Hello. Is it always peaceful? How are you doing at your workplace? Hello. How are you doing at your business place? Do you have disagreements? Do you have fallouts? Yes, we do have these things. They're part of life, but they do not stop us from our goal. And in case you
Absolutely.
remember the document that Molali, one part, sorry, I don't need to call his name, he sent and actually emphasized that I read it at the Berlin meeting. I'll share that. I've shared that actually. When we read back, we see that there's really nothing new that is happening in our struggle today. And just like the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun. So for those of you who claim that, oh, there's division, there is this, there is that, there's treachery and what do you call it, backbiting, it has always existed as long as mankind existed. Our struggle is not um, exempted from the ills of humanity. So when you read, you see there was betrayal, there was infiltration, and there was the divide and rule. La Republic did this trick 62 years ago, used our own to divide us and actually cause the death of some. So you will never then participate in anything because there's nothing new in this struggle. You should check over the 7 years of this struggle, and by now, if you're honest, you will know who pulls the plug. By their actions, you will know them. By those
Mm-hmm.
who pronounce, evil and come and kill and molest and execute our people in broad daylight, they call their names. Then you know them. So why do you generalize? So if you say you're confused, this is 7 years. We have a track record, this interim government. And if you don't know who is the interim government, look around the world. Ask yourself on this October 1 who came out in unison like the interim government. And that's what makes it the people's interim government. This uniform
Simple.
told the world that yes, this is a government, this is a people, this is a broad based institution, this is not a one man show. And this interim government has responsible soldiers. We have Amazonian restoration forces. We do not advise them to kill our people, we do not advise them to molest the community. On the contrary, we educate them to protect the civilian population because, in turn, the civilian population protects them. And we could see that marriage between our Amazonian restoration forces and the civilian population, at least in the pictures from the Bui warriors, how they merged together and danced. If they did not have that sense of protection, they wouldn't be doing that. So, to all of you who are pretending behind, oh, there's division and there's this and that, please, you know who is doing the right thing. So, fall behind your interim government, fall behind your LGAs and your counties. Come, let's draft Ndian tomorrow. The president is a very wise man. I mean, to have made Dian a federal project makes total sense. Dian is one of the counties that was well hit by the coup plotting, but we've gone past that. And in Amazonia, in the people's interim government, we have seen time and again that sense of patriotism. We don't come out because I am from this village. We don't come out because I'm from this ethnicity and therefore I will not support this. Amazonia has shown without reservation the past draft season, which has been very intensive, mind you, every week. We have come out in our numbers to support every county. And so we are leaving no one behind. Whether there's only one man standing Indian, this government is coming out to stand behind Dian to tell you that we are fighting for one Amazonia, though we have 13 different counties. So it is your responsibility, it is my responsibility to make sure that we draft Dian regardless of how many members or active members we have. And again, sorry, I'm talking too much. I want to specifically thank Indianite. Oh my God. I don't want to call his name, but I'll just say Dr. E. Thank you so much. This is a man who left quite a distance. The morning he had to come to Berlin, his mother fell in a coma. He was actually in a position to almost travel home to see his mom. He said something said, no, go to Berlin. And he came, he was with us. We marched together, we protested. He stayed behind. We decorated the hall together. He bought his wrapper and he even gave it as a gift. And then he left because he wanted to spend some time praying for his lovely mother who passed on that night. What, what kind of patriotism? What else can we say? How do you feel? You will stay back because you're not happy with something or somebody or whatever. Please, let's stop this childishness. That is sacrifice. And Dr. Emmanuel, Amazonia loves you, and we are truly, truly, truly grateful for your sacrifice. And your mother is proud of you from above. If anything, if no one would come to the Indian draft tomorrow, come tomorrow to support Dr. Emmanuel, who, who is, even though he's a silent person, but he is a constant supporter from the background. I know what I'm talking about. So please, let's all get on. And let's not forget, our first lady is from Dian. Our first lady is from Dian. Of course, La
Yeah,
Republique
yeah,
said
yeah,
everything. She's from La Republique. She's this and that, and so on. No, she is a woman from Dian. What? How
yeah,
symbolic is that?
yes.
So, for all the reasons in the world, let's come out and support our first lady. We come out to support Dr. Manuel and all our Dian comrades. Those of you who are hiding your faces, please come out and do something honorable for your land. Your life is not much more worth than the millions that have died. So thank you. Let's all see tomorrow at the Indian
Yes,
draft.
Dr. Aya, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have said it all. But I would like to round up with this that the number on the screen. And if you want to anonymously support Jan tomorrow, please contact me. Don't worry, your identity will be protected if you want to remain an anonymous supporter. I have at least 10 anonymous people who participate and financially support the struggle one way or the other any moment they can. And it's no longer an excuse. We'll put our face out there for you if you're still afraid. That's why I say there's so many avenues for participation in this struggle. Dr. Yaf highlighted so many different ones of different areas to participate, and also mention people who are sacrificing. Even this it was the most humbling, the most inspiring thing to have been in Berlin with this comrade whose mother was in coma, but they came out to protest. They came out for Amazonian Independence Day a celebration. They came out for the Southern Cameroon's Amazonian Day. They were out, they were fully involved, they took part in every activities and event, and their mother sadly passed at the night of 1st of October. This level of patriotism, dedication to the cause, and commitment to our liberation struggle and support for Amazonian freedom is the same reason, or one of the reasons why I keep saying that nobody has an excuse. No Amazonian or Southern Cameroonian has an excuse. There is too much to do. There is so much you can do. People are sacrificing beyond words, blood and flesh. Look at Dr. Yaya mentioned from the home front up into the diaspora. His excuse would have been so valid that his mother is in coma, he's not aware of the state, doesn't know what's going on, they will not be able to participate. That is a very solid and valid excuse. But what happened? That did not stop the love for country. The love for Ambazonian could not stop him. So the, this is one thing that every Southern Cameroonian, Ambazonia. I like to mention Southern Cameroonians because there are some people who see themselves as Southern Cameroonian and they think Ambazonian is um different. So long as you're Southern Cameroons, you are also an Ambazonian, whether you call it that way or not. Um, Dr. Yabo said it all. And we're running up now, and they have Pastor Commando has elaborated, Dr. Yaya has analyzed why every Amazonian should come out and support Indian County draft tomorrow, 8 p.m. Amber time. And now, as I round up, I want to thank all our viewers. Thank ABC team for making this program possible. Um, and finally, I want to thank Pastor Commando and Dr. Yaya for showing up and showing out today on the horizon. The 1st of
Thank you.
October event
Thank
was
you.
an amazing celebration, and there is just so many dimensions of conversation to have around the 1st of October. I believe we have just scratched at the surface of every aspect of it. Like I said, me, I will be celebrating 1st of October until December. So we will definitely have some conversation about so many things that have been raised today, uh, concerning this 1st of October celebration. We've talked about participation, we've talked about the impact, we've talked about um, the organization and planning, uh, and we've also, talked about how far the impact would go. But in all of that, there's so many lessons to learn, and some of these things that have been raised would continue to discuss all these aspects of it in and much detail because it is important that we know that it's no longer, it's been 7 years. Dr. Yam mentioned that like several times in her statement. And there's no time for any excuse. There's no time to be confused. It's not time to be ignorant. There's no more any reason, to not be in a know of what is going on. Thank you all once again. I will see you next week on the horizon, the voice of the Amazonian woman. Bye bye.
Fellow Ambazonians, this Saturday, the 14th of October 2023, the draft train it will continue. Yes, we almost see the finish line. But hey, may I tell you what will happen this Saturday, the 14th of October from 8 p.m. Ambazonia time. The federal government of this interim government, it go the draft for the ARFs of India. With the draft because the federal government get a stabilization plan we want to implement in India. So at this time, the federal government go handle that responsibility. So with the invite all our supporters to come and make sure say you draft. Every fireside must get fire for Ambazonia and no county left behind. Send this message for every county and every LGA. Send this message to every member of government, whether from the IHR, from the central government, from the presidency, from treasury, from ABC, from our patrons, from all our financial warriors. Send this message to everyone. We want to make sure say we succeed in the war, not just in some places, but in our effort to put La Republic down. So this Saturday, share this message, invite somebody, and even those who they be ready for support. We anonymously, you are invited. This one are almost the end of the draft. This one and then the last one coming next week. But make sure say you give your might. And they appreciate you for every sacrifice we don't make up. But until we win in every county, Ambazonia will not be free. So we talk say, make you come, give to the federal government, wait till where we need to turn things around. God bless you as I expect you.